Woo! Good afternoon, people. I don't even know where to fucking start. I have no idea. So much to talk about. Man, oh man. Like I couldn't have said it better in the title. The corruption in Canton, dude. That house is on fire. That house is on fire. Like right now, all these dudes, right? All these dudes, Tully, and Morrissey, and Mello, and anybody else with their dirty little grubby ass hands, Chris Albert. These they're like Billy the Kid and the rest of the young guns, except they're not cool, you know. And like it's the end of that first movie, and you know they lit the house, boys. They lit the house, and they're just getting smoked out. The difference is that they're not cool, and they're not gonna like throw each other in little treasure in little chests and throw them out, and then they're gonna break out and go whoa, blah, 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 and fight their way out. That's not happening. They're gonna run and hide. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna run and hide. Every single one of them. Their house is on fire. That's it. And it's just a matter of time before the smoke gets to be too much and they have to run. Now let's get Dateline out of the way real quick. Let me I'm just a girl in the world, member for 2 months. Howdy, glad to catch a live. Right on. Yeah, man, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm just a girl in the world is amazing.
I think we got a super chat. Super fan. I think we got a super chat. Super fan. Super chat. Super fan. 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 I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
I wasn't even gonna do it, but Cherry's in the chat. You know, it's her birthday, so we got to make sure that Cherry gets a happy birthday. She loves that and cheese. She loves that song and cheese. See, the thing is like Turtle Boy said that. I'll get into that later. Actually. It made me laugh though. I'm just a girl in the world gifted 5 memberships. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
I think we got a super chat. Super fan. I think we got a super chat. Super fan. Super chat. Super fan. 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 I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Joanna Be Pure, thank you so much. Be pure. I feel like the only way to say it is in like a fake ass French accent. No offense to your name. I'm just doing the best I can. Joanna Be Pure. Joanna Be Pure. Can you imagine Morrissey trying to run anywhere? More like roll the meatball he is. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. You guys are in high spirits today, I see. I love it. So let's go ahead and just get the Dateline episode out of the way. So last night, first of all, I want to thank all my members. And I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you guys somehow. I had massive technical difficulties when it came to sharing this thing yesterday in the Discord. And we started like 15 minutes late. So for those of you who are like in the UK and couldn't watch it on your TVs while we waited and while I got it fixed, I apologize. And those of you who waited patiently while I so frustratingly tried to figure it out, thank you so much for waiting, and thank you for being members. You guys are amazing. And I had the best time with you guys hanging out and talking. And it was really cool. We all, for the most part, respected when the commercials ended and went, okay, because it's kind of like being live here, except imagine everybody in chat could be heard. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So yeah. Watching from UK, you never fail to make me laugh. Definitely going to do the super chat dance when I go to the club next. Yes. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Lana XX. So the Dateline episode, I've always said, as long as they cover all the facts, I don't care. I don't care if they seem unbiased. I don't care if I want them to be unbiased, but I don't care if they support Karen Reed necessarily, as long as they state the facts so that people can analyze the facts and come up with their own opinion. Present the facts fairly. That's all I hope for. Now, they at least went over some of the troubling things in the trial. 2020 didn't even go over the trial, if at all, so at least Dateline went over things in the trial. But the thing is what you got to understand about shows like Dateline, shows like 2020, they're not actually news shows. Like they'll say like ABC News presents or, NBC News presents or whatever, but they're not actually news channel or news shows. They're there to entertain. They're there to, that's it. So what they're going to do is, they're going to show these damning things, but not the kind of damning things that actually matter to us. They picked and choose what makes for more dramatic television. Like, is it good that they went over Higgins' text messages with Karen Reed? Sure. Yeah. It helps give the I'm happy with the way that they presented that, because anybody with common sense who watched that is going to go, well, wait a minute. I wonder, did he have motive? So cool. And they also showed, they didn't touch on it, which bothered me, but they showed the footage that Microdots has recently focused on in the waterfall. The security footage, the little bit of security footage that they showed was Chris Albert trying to hold back Brian Higgins from being aggressive towards Boston police officer Judd O'Keefe at the waterfall. Now, they didn't say anything about it. We knew what it was, but it went so fast that anybody watching it is not gonna, hey, Boston Confidential Podcast, nice to see you. They're not gonna they're not gonna touch on this stuff, too much. You got to understand, they're here to entertain and they're here to give. They have a product and there's a demand for the product. And unfortunately, people who watch Dateline for the drama of true crime, like the dirty little details in the cases, right? So yeah, they talked about Higgins in the text messages, which is fine. But the reason why they did it was because hey, Kelly Reed, it's good to see you. The reason why they did it was because it's dirt. Oh my God, there's an aspect of a possible affair. Like, these are like keywords in shows like Dateline, because it's basically an evening soap. You know what I mean? It's an affair, words like seduction, words like affair and seduction and what's the other word I'm looking for? Scandal. They love the word scandal. These are the kind of things that, women who, since romance novels are pretty much dated, the same type of women, just a modern version of them, get off on. It's weird, but it is what it is. They love that shit. So, this isn't about the average Dateline viewer. This isn't about getting justice for a Boston police officer. It's not about that at all. They like to tell themselves that so that they can feel justified in indulging in their guilty pleasure, which is the dirt that are the ingredients that make following the case entertaining for them. So that's all that is. So don't be shocked and surprised as to what you saw last night. I'm not. And so, and Deidre Sargent, welcome to Logic. Thank you for joining. Now like think about that. They bring on this whole, they bring up the whole Higgins and the text messages with Karen. And then they take, and it's really funny because I gotta be real honest. I'm really, really glad for reasons beyond for the reasons I'm going to explain now, which are beyond the reasons that I've already explained why I was glad to do it then. But I'm really glad that hold on, Yellow Truth Seeker, thank you so much. Beth was the star of the show. Thanks again for streaming it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. Thank you, Yellow Truth Seeker. So, or Yellow the Truth Seeker, excuse me. So I'm really glad that I got to do the live stream with Melanie Little, where we read the full thread of John and Karen's text messages that night of the 28th, that day of the 28th. I think it was really important because when you look at what they did, oh my God, you guys hear that? That's driving me crazy. So somebody just fucking decided to do their fucking lawn right outside my window right now. So sorry about that. And it's going to distract me and it's going to drive me fucking crazy. Yes, please shut the fuck up. But they'll turn it on again. I know they will. Anyway, Kelly, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. So, because the light that they put those text messages in was just to show the dirt, and it kind of made Karen look bad. Because here's the thing is they're not going to. Nathaniel Brown gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Oh my. All right, as long as you guys can't hear it, it won't bother me. That's what's bothering me, is that the mic is picking it up. And so if it's not bothering you guys, then great. So the very quick picture that they painted was that Karen and John were having these problems and on the verge of breaking up. They specified the whole "I'm not in this to fight with you" type of thing. When we all know that John O'Keefe, in that text message, in that air of things that were going on, it was Karen who was actually trying to salvage the relationship. John had no intention of breaking up. He just expressed that he didn't want to argue. And he sounded overwhelmed with whatever was going on around him at the time. And it was a very simple exchange, a very typical exchange between two people who are just having a hard time in a relationship, but nothing that can't be fixed. And I got every indication that these two people are perfectly willing to sit down, and they've probably done it many times prior to that text message exchange, to sit down like adults and talk their problems out. That's totally the vibe I got off of that. So, they painted that text message exchange to come off as though it was proof of motive, just because the prosecution tried to paint it that way in the trial. It just wasn't true. Robin G gifted 5 memberships. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. So that bothered me a little bit. and you know, and of course they're going to focus on Michael Proctor and Michael Proctor's lewd and disrespectful and misogynistic, hateful text messages towards Karen, about Karen. And so, because that's scandal, that's drama, that's, so that's what they're going to do. Carol Mama 09 Engel, love me some Glarer, member for 3 months. Glarer loves him some Carol. So yeah, so when you look at everything that Dateline went over, they're only interested in the drama. It's trash. Like, you know what I mean? It's McCafe. It's McCafe. You guys you understand what I'm getting at here? Remember when everything was a big deal about healthy food? There was this big outrage about nothing but unhealthy food everywhere, and McDonald's was the word. It was the buzzword for healthy food, for unhealthy food. McDonald's was the buzzword. Oh my God, if you keep eating shit like McDonald's, that's what went on, right? So McDonald's decided to make McCafe. It's like, hey, we're going healthy now, and we're putting the calorie count here, and you can do this and you could do that, but it's still shit. You're still stuffing shit into your face. Just because you add a fucking a thing of lettuce, on top of a fucking pile of shit, it doesn't mean that it's healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's what McCafe is. McCafe is a bunch of that's what Dateline is. It's a pile of shit with they slap lettuce on it to call it news. It's not news. It's trash. Now, Turtle Boy is happy with the way that they depicted him. That's fine. That's his prerogative. I have the prerogative myself to not be happy with the way they depicted him. I mean, some might argue how he feels about it is all that matters. That's cool, but I'm still entitled to my feelings about it. And my feelings about it were that they just made him seem like an internet clown. That's what they made him look like, when we know that he is an award-winning journalist. He's somebody who is, and all it did was just it strengthened my theory that much more. It backed up my theory that any type of mainstream news conglomerate is going to look at Turtle Boy and what he represents as a threat to them. They didn't credit him for coming up with any information. They didn't credit him for the reasons why people follow him. They implied strongly that people follow him because he's a clown and he's a big showman. And that bothered me because he's more than that. People follow him because they provided him with the actual facts of this case that they could not rely on mainstream media to provide them with. And then that brings me to the people who follow Turtle Boy and the people that were outside of the courthouse in those shots. And when they were discussing the mob, because that's what they called us all, when they were discussing the mob, they showed people apparently jeering at the O'Keefe family, jeering at them, and then showed them all just sitting on their butts on the lawn with their signs, and Rita Lombardi in that shot too, making it seem like it's a bunch of lazy fucking slob loiterers. Like people haven't been showing up to select board meetings. Like people haven't been writing letters. Like people haven't been doing the shit that Sue O'Connell, which I'll get to her in a minute, have been saying they should be doing without recognizing and giving them the credit of having already been fucking doing it this whole time. So yes, that bothered me a lot. So all I know is, all I'm saying is that's my feelings about it. Everyone here is entitled to their feelings about it, but it bothered me. So, and then Sue O'Connell, watching her backpedal her comments all day on Twitter. And by the way, Mazza, great live earlier today. I only got to caught a little bit of it, but it was great, man, as always. So she's backpedaling everything that she's saying from last night, basically. And talking about, oh, well, it was months ago that I gave this interview, and I gave a 3-hour interview, and it was months ago, but I don't remember what I said. Okay. See, here's the thing. One of the funnest things about having this channel as an independent commentator, one of the funnest things about having this channel is I don't have that problem. Now, you could ask me, what did you say 3 months ago? And I'm going to go, I'm not totally sure. But if you ask me specifically what it pertains to, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to give you my answer now, because I guarantee you that it's going to be the same answer I gave back then. I'm not going to have to worry about what I said 3 months ago. If you're asking me when it comes to what I feel about this case, if you asked me the same question 3 months ago and asked me that same question now, I would give you the same fucking answer. Maybe not verbatim, but pretty much the same exact opinion. Probably a little more polished so that it resonates better. So when I hear a mainstream media commentary person, whatever the fuck she calls herself, say, I don't remember what I said on fucking Dateline 3 months ago. I mean, I have my opinions. Now, I understand that this case doesn't consume her as much as, it consumes us. She has to talk about other things. But I mean, let's face it, Sue O'Connell, you have a show called Canton Confidential, and that show is orbiting the Sun, which is the Karen Reed case. Let's be honest here. You have this special segment at Boston 10 News, a special segment called Canton Confidential, and you know that it is inspired by this case because you know that everyone in Boston is talking about it. So you know it's going to get you a lot of clout. But wouldn't the smart thing to do be to form an opinion on it? Since you're a commentator, you're allowed to form an opinion, by the way, and stick by it. I mean, Buzzy for Truth, thank you. Will, tell us how much you love Sue O'Connell. Listen, I don't have any personal feelings about the lady one way or another. I really don't. I don't fucking know her. If I met her, I'd shake her hand and say hello. That's the truth, because I don't have anything personal against her. I have a problem with the way that she's handling this case. You know what I mean? Like, if I see a guy at a construction site holding a shovel wrong, you know what I mean? I don't want the guy to get fired over it. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't have any personal feelings about this person. My issue is the fact that she's in a position of where she's in, and she doesn't have the guts to actually speak her mind on what's going on here. And it sounds like she's being fed information. Because what bothers me here is if she feels the way that she feels on her commentary on Canton Confidential that made everyone mad, she feels how she feels about what she said on Dateline. But the problem is that she doesn't ever back it up. She never actually stands by these things. She gets called out on it on Twitter. She's active on Twitter, and then she backpedals. And she fence rides. And she's real quick to tear everyone apart for the sake of a television appearance. But when those very people that she's tearing apart respectfully call her out, and some of you aren't respectful, but respectfully call her out and go, hey, what the hell was that? Like, you brag about being my neighbor, and then you say these things about us. Like, what's the deal? Like, I used to have respect for you. And then she backpedals. Like, why not just be like, I said what I said? You know what I mean? Almost everybody else is. Why not just be like, you know what? I said what I said, man. Deal with it. I mean, yeah, like I get it. Like, I've been calling her a poo-poo head. I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna elevate it, even though I've got a really bad potty mouth. But I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not convinced she's a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm convinced Wendy Murphy's a bad person. I'm convinced Jennifer Twattendorfer's a bad person. I'm not convinced Sue O'Connell's a bad person. You know what I'm saying? I just think it sucks what she's doing. Buzzing for Truth, thank you. She flip-flops on the case. It's awful, right? And it's just really disheartening coming from her who claims to be a Canton resident. You know, so proud. And when she's called out on Twitter by the very people she criticizes, she can't give a straight answer. And that's annoying as fuck. It just is. And then there's this Beth person. Hold on a second. We're gonna have to step this. We're gonna have to kick this up a notch here. We're gonna have to kick this up a notch here. I'm gonna let Turtle Boy do all the talking about Beth. Now in my Discord last night, the first thing I said, who the fuck is this? It's the first thing that came out of my mouth. I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, the second that the fucking camera got put on her, I was like, who the fuck are you? I didn't even wait for her to finish a sentence before I was like, who the fuck is this person? And then the whole Discord was like, right, dude, like, what? And then, you know, they started showing her, you know, like, they just started showing, like, I started to notice her where I never noticed her before. Why? Because she's fucking irrelevant. But they started showing her, like, in little places that I knew were there, that I saw happen in real time, but never noticed her. I wonder why. Why? Because she's fucking nobody. And she's saying, like, she's basically reciting the McAlbert Bible on this case, right? The McAlbert Gospel. It just word for word, you know, the McAlbert fucking Gospel. Like, Turtle Boy, vile, Karen Reed, guilty, and that. And so, I'm just like, okay, like no substance to anything that she was saying at all in regards to the case. None at all. Oh my God, Karen was just flailing and going crazy in the halls and screaming. She was erratic, flailing her arms and going crazy in the hallways of the hospital. And then they had to section her. Like, no, bro, that's not what happened at all. That's not even what happened. Handbook for the recently rehome. Thank you. Mainstream media hates giving Turtle Boy credit, but he's the only one exposing this corruption. Exactly. Because you know what's going to happen? He's going to be dubbed a hero nationally if they do that. And if they do that, I'm telling you, you're going to have a whole wave of little turtle boys running around. They're going to be everywhere. They're scared shitless of that. Scared shitless. Now, there is the fear that you're going to inspire a whole bunch of JLRs running around. Because JLR thinks that he's Turtle Boy. He's just not. This is, in Dateline's defense, okay? I'm not done with Beth, but in Dateline's defense, okay, they only had 2 hours. You can't. We have been saying, how long have we been saying, there's no way you could tell this story in fucking 2 hours, dude. In an hour, 2 hours, it can't be done. There's no way to tell this story properly in 2 hours. So Dateline did the best they could with that. Fair enough. I give them that credit. And I understand them too. I don't like it, but I understand that they're going to pick the juiciest pieces. There's some fucking asshole producer who's fucking, she's high on cocaine and she's wearing a suit and she treats her assistant like shit. And she's going, no, more of the juice, more of the dirt. It's not dirty enough. That's what's going on back, behind the scenes at Dateline. So you have to expect this kind of shit. Like some fucking Nicole Kidman looking motherfucker. That's just, what the fuck is this? Splenda? You want me to get cancer? Should I throw this on you so you get cancer too? Should I do that? Would you file a lawsuit if I did that? Would you file a lawsuit if I told you had cankles? Like that kind of asshole to their assistant. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, it's what to expect. You're not going to get the full story. And look, hey, corruption's in the chat. It's good to see you. You're not going to get the full story. You're just not. Shut up. So yeah, Beth, let me get back to that. Fun stuff. So, hold on. I just got to scroll and find it. What in the hell, man? Okay. Here's the most recent one. Well, no, I'll read them in order here. So, and I joked, by the way, as soon as I was like, who the fuck is that? And we were all laughing about it, right? As soon as this Beth person turns up and we're all like, okay, who? Of course, I tweeted about it. And basically the same thing with a GIF. And most people were like, yeah, exactly. Like what? And then I joked with my Discord and said, Turtle Boy probably already knows who it is. And Like, expect a tweet like any minute. And then sure enough, it didn't take him long. And he says, the fact that Beth Rendes sat through that trial and thought there was any chance of a conviction for murder shows how stupid everyone on that side of the aisle is. A hung jury on one of the 3 counts was nothing less than a miracle for the Commonwealth. True. Here's another one. All I know about Beth Rendes is she sits at home with her cat and eats Hot Pockets. This is a quote. I'm going to read this again, okay? I want you guys to pay close attention. This is a quote. Turtle Boy starts this post with a quote. And the quote is, all I know about Beth Rendes is she sits at home with her cat and eats Hot Pockets. John O'Keefe allegedly said this about Beth, that all he knows about her is that she sits at home with her cat and eats Hot Pockets. And Turtle Boy goes on in this post to say, that's what Johnny, and he puts it in quotes, because even then I was like, Johnny, who the fuck is Johnny? Like, I haven't heard. Isn't it John or JJ, unless I missed it. But so he's like, that's what Johnny, quote unquote, thought of you, Beth. You're not related to John. He's not your family. You're a stupid liar trying to make his death all about you. And this is why we appreciate Turtle Boy. See, you have those people who go, see, he's being mean. He doesn't have to be mean. And I'm the guy that goes, well, yeah, he's being mean. And no, he doesn't have to be mean, but it's funny. And sometimes it's kind of necessary to be mean, because if you're just not fucking getting it, if you're the type of person who goes on Dateline to get attention, then mean is merited. In my book, mean is merited. So, now, this next one is Beth Rendes just told Karen Reed to do the right thing, right? Because she says, if you have words, like that actually created a feeling in my stomach when I heard the interviewer ask Beth, if you have anything to say to Karen Reed, what would you say? First of all, again, I'm going to stress this question. Who the fuck is she? So when I hear this interviewer ask her this as if she's somebody, and as if Karen Reed gives a fuck about a question coming from the likes of this person who's just begging for attention, was like, that was gross television to me. That's what that was. It was gross television to me. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I know Karen Reed is innocent. You know what I mean? So it was just like, really just, like, fuck you, Dateline, for that, And Dateline, they did great. Like, they gave Alan Jackson a lot of airtime. Alan Jackson just knocked it out of the park. David Yannetti knocked it out of the park. He was fantastic. If I had never even followed this case, as I'm watching David Yannetti, he was extremely likable. Extremely likable. Everyone was just quiet when David Yannetti came up. He has this thing about him, this air about him. So that was really cool. And Alan Jackson just is verbally surgical. So he was just awesome. And vile, there's that word, vile. Always makes me laugh. I've just been in true crime for too fucking long, man. And if there's two words that I've ever heard more than any other fucking word in this community, it's vile and narcissist, or some variation of the word narcissistic, narcissism, narcissist. Everybody's a fucking narcissist. Everybody's a narcissist. Everybody. Turtle Boy's a narcissist. Karen Reed's a narcissist. Somebody said John O'Keefe was a narcissist when we were reading the text messages. It's a really overused word. Please, just before you use it, just think if it's fully appropriate, like the word literally, like make sure that when you use the word literally, you're using it literally, please. At least try. I get it. It's just a word, but still, peeves, man, peeves. See what I put up with? Amazing. But really, Beth is vile. Okay. Yeah. Beth, I there was one more that I thought was really funny. One more. It might have got taken down. It might have got taken down. I feel like it was taken down. Yeah, it looks like it was taken down. Unless I just missed it. But it was a really funny one. I do have to show this.
I think we got a super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Derek, for Cherry, don't take no shit. Wow, that's hurtful. So let me since I have it pulled up, I just got a notification on my phone. Let's go back to Sue O'Connell for a minute here. So she writes, I did a 3-hour interview. I answered many questions. I didn't produce the program. A little tiny bit of what I said made it into the episode. There are so many dimensions to this case that each deserve a documentary miniseries. Yeah. Right. But the problem is that you're not even defending what you said. Like you're here talking about hey, I didn't have nothing. Hey, they chopped it up. This is basically you in a post saying, I did a 3-hour interview. I answered many questions. I didn't produce the program. So you're basically telling me without telling me that they chopped it up to make you sound bad. And so I responded to that. And I said, yet you're a news commentator, quote unquote, and seem to only find the time to discuss the things that paint Karen Reed and those of us who support her fight to prove her innocence as a bunch of wackos. You're not fooling anyone here. You can absolutely use your voice to speak up, and you do. You just use it to speak up for the corrupt. So I absolutely threw that accusation at her, and I stand by it. And then somebody agrees with me and says exactly right. Instead, she denies calling the people who spoke out towards the family of John in a way she didn't like, borderline criminal. Remember that? Then, of course, she says, I didn't say that. Then tries to backtrack the meaning of her words. My opinion. which is exactly what she just did there. And then she responds to this. Sue O'Connell responds to this and says, I said borderline criminal. I didn't say protesting was borderline criminal. I'm going to repeat that. I said borderline criminal. I didn't say protesting was borderline criminal. I don't know what that means. So I responded and said, so free speech is borderline criminal? Because I'm assuming that she's talking about, and I'm not assuming, I heard her fucking say it on Dateline, that the way that the O'Keeffes are being spoken about is borderline criminal. That's what she said. So free speech is borderline criminal, I asked. People can't be disgusted by the fact that the O'Keeffe family seems to not care that the wrong person is being accused for the death of their loved one who was a Boston police officer. I don't like it either, because I don't. But tact is not exactly my first priority when it comes to the truth, especially when the truth could get actual justice for this fallen officer and the woman he loved who is being framed for his murder. Of course, no response from Sue O'Connell on that. No response. And I think we've covered enough of Beth. But check this out. This is Turtle Boy put this out, and I thought it was brilliant. This is the this is the Hall of Shame. The best and brightest of the Karen Reed is guilty crew right here. This is the best and brightest of them, folks. See that? This is very, very beautiful to me. I feel like this is I thought it was very thoughtful to put this together. I mean, you see some of them I don't even want to name their names. But there's Twattendoffer, there's Grant, Wendy Murphy, and then this Jules person I got to exchange with today on Twitter. That was cute. I mean, these are the people. This is the thing you got to understand, folks. These are the people who have been. This is the minority. First of all, this is them as a whole, but they're a minority in comparison to people who not only believe but know that Karen Reed is innocent. So these are people who this is the best and brightest of that group of people, the best and brightest of all of those who dare speak up and say that Karen Reed is guilty, which is really funny. Like, it's just really funny to me, dude, that like anybody takes, like, I haven't seen anybody worth a shit say that they believe Karen Reed is guilty. Honestly, like, think about it. Like, everybody that I've ever seen, like, has been somebody who I have always disagreed with on this platform, if I already knew them. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. And there are always people who exploit and do dirty, fucked up shit with past cases. Always. Every single person who I've had a rivalry with, more or less, who have tried to use their platform to say that Karen Reed is guilty. I mean, you look at this idiot Dolly, right? Now, he's doing really well right now exploiting the Sebastian Rogers case, making a bunch of money off of a missing autistic boy's back. He's doing incredibly well, making money hand over fist, and then making public posts about every other month saying he's no longer going to talk about the case. Then he talks about the case, right? And this dude tried at first to jump on that whole Karen Reed is guilty bandwagon, tried to be a growing voice for it, but he wasn't making any money doing it because even the idiots that follow him were like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. Glaire's making a lot of sense. You know, like, so there's always these morons. It's always the stupidest of the stupid. And then what did Dolly do? He showed up. He showed up to the courthouse, right? Had a little interaction with Tom CPU, and he just sat there looking like a homeless guy, loitering, like he didn't do anything. There was too much support for Karen Reed. He was afraid. He thought that there was going to be this side of this people and this side of that people because everybody, the McAlberts kept spinning this narrative, and the McAlbert mouthpieces kept spinning the narrative that the town was split. That, oh my God, everyone's split, but that's not the case because it's been nothing, consistently nothing but Karen Reed supporters in droves outside of that courthouse until the very last days of the trial, when like 5 or 6 people in blue shirts showed up. And those 5 or 6 people are in this fucking photo right here. Look at them. This was their leader right here. This one. This one's life right now is falling apart. Because right now, Mark Betterow, who represents Turtle Boy, is disseminating every dirty fucking shit she did in collusion with Brian Tully and Ken Mello. And it's beautiful. It's a work of art. And so what's happening now is Canton is on fire. Norfolk County is on fire. And people are running. Because what's going on right now, because everybody's celebrating the fact that the newly appointed by the governor colonel for the Massachusetts State Police has pulled Brian Tully out of the Norfolk County DA's office, rehomed him, nobody knows where, right? Nobody knows. But I can't help but think of things as being a political move. I think that the governor of Massachusetts right now is thinking in terms of this being close to an election, and she sees Karen Reed supporters as voters. So I can't help but think that that's the motive behind appointing this new colonel. Because I think in the grand scheme of things, I think that it is just a pacifier for now. Pulling Tully from the Norfolk County DA's office. Because what that tells me is that this colonel for the Massachusetts State Police knows exactly what's going on here. He's fully aware of everything. And he's probably hyper-focused on it. So if he's hyper-focused on this, I mean, Scott McGinnis, I get that. I get it. What I'm saying, though, is, I mean, I'm not saying it's a smart move. I'm saying that it's really nothing. It's really nothing. Now, I understand that Brian Tully's position, the Massachusetts State Police in the Norfolk County District Attorney's office, is open. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. Okay. Okay. I mean, I got to be qualified. I mean, with the way that the murder of John O'Keefe's the investigation for that was handled, well, I got to be qualified. I mean, I got to be an upgrade at least. You know what I mean? I got to be an upgrade. Come on. Let me work in Michael Morrissey's office. I would love that. And you know Michael Morrissey wants it. Morrissey wants that shit, dude. Morrissey wants it. He wants to be there. I know it. If you guys pass me up, he's going to be sad. He's going to be sad. He's going to be singing, William, William, it was really nothing. And if you like to marry me, if you like to buy the ring, my tie, to page. I don't even know the words to that last part. And that, people, is Morrissey. It's actually the Smiths, but yeah. Morrissey will miss me. He'll want me. Morrissey, I can do it. I can do it, Michael Morrissey. Hire me, bro. Hire me. Give me a ring. So now also something else happened, which is really interesting. The lead Norfolk detective, Brian Tully, this is Turtle Boy's report here. Lead Norfolk detective Brian Tully was reassigned and demoted, rehomed and demoted by the new colonel, spokesman David Schraub, who bribed Gretchen Mushrooms Voss with a burger. Reassigned today as well. Something is happening. Right. The house is on fire. That's what's happening. So now there's a new spokesperson, though. And I'm going to have to find that here. But there is a new spokesperson for the Norfolk County DA's office. And I have to find it here. Did I? Hold on. I can't find who the new spokesperson is, but it's real interesting who it is. That is really annoying me right now. Yes, David Linton. Hold on, let me just do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, somebody, I just want to read who this guy is real quick. Yeah, all it says here, he's of the Sun Chronicle, whose job it was to supposedly report neutrally on NCADO. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. right. All right. I found it. We're good. Sorry about that, guys. Dude, look at this guy, dude. Fuck. It's making me like log in, so I can't like read it. God, it's so annoying. All right. So yeah. So this guy works for the Sun Chronicle, and now he's going to be the official spokesperson for Michael Morrissey, and the DA's office. Now I wonder why the original spokesperson's gone. I wonder why that happened. That's my big question. And let's see what it says here. Here's an article from the Sun Chronicle. It says David Linton, the Sun Chronicle's award-winning police, fire, and court reporter for almost 40 years, has accepted a job as spokesperson for Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey. Linton, 63, announced his resignation from the Sun Chronicle this week. He will replace spokesman David Traub, who is leaving the post he held at the DA's office for more than 25 years. Linton began his career at the Sun Chronicle as a correspondent covering various towns, including Norton and North Attleboro. But his real love and expertise was in crime reporting, a position he took over in the mid-1980s. We will miss David greatly. Sun Chronicle executive editor Craig Borges said Friday night, David was a great reporter who probably knew the court system better than many attorneys. His connections in the field of law enforcement were deep, which led him to break numerous stories. He covered every big crime case in the Sun Chronicle readership area since the 1980s, including the Attleboro cult case, Aaron Hernandez, Michelle Carter, and most recently, Karen Reed. Linton said his resignation is bittersweet. I've enjoyed my career at the Sun Chronicle greatly and will miss my coworkers who are my friends, as well as others I have met through my reporting over the years. But this is a new opportunity for me and a new challenge, he said. I've known David Traub for a long time, and he's helping me with the transition. Linton's final story for the Sun Chronicle, Help in Time of Crisis, is a blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I don't care. Okay, so now let me give my thoughts on that, because I find it interesting that dude would leave a job where he practically has tenure and jump on a sinking ship. Like, everything about what Michael Morrissey is doing is a desperate act. This is one thing that is absolutely consistent. Everything that we have seen Michael Morrissey do in the last year has been an act in desperation. And the walls are closing in more and more and more. And more things are coming to light. More and more things that could be tied back to him based on the people that he has working under him. So it's very, very interesting to me that somebody would leave their job, a very cushy job, where he has built a reputation and everyone seems to love him. And he seems to, like I said, practically have tenure. He could just he could be there as long as he wants to be. And then decides, okay, I'm going to go work for Michael Morrissey as his mouthpiece, like officially his mouthpiece. That's what spokesperson means. So I find the timing of that really interesting, because I can't see how any man would find that to be a sound decision. A man who probably has a family. I can't see how a man would look at that move as a sound career decision. What was the incentive to willingly walk into a burning house? Is a perfect question, Nancy. Thank you for asking that. Nothing about the things that are going on really makes sense. It's not stuff you see happen in a DA's office. Now, what's very interesting about this, folks, is it all started with Turtle Boy. And right now, it's like what Turtle Boy did was they built a wall to try to shut him out by charging him, right? And Turtle Boy went and bought a battering ram. That's what he did. That battering ram being Mark Betterow. That's what he did. Like in the simplest ways of putting it, that's what's going on here. Michael Morrissey is on the other side of that wall. And Mark Betterow has been stewing and sitting on different YouTube channels, one after the other, explaining in legal terms as to every detail as to why this case is one of the grossest acts of injustice that has ever taken place in American history. He does this all the time because he is passionate about it. And then Turtle Boy goes and hires him for his case to represent him. And now Betterow has an arsenal. And he's standing outside of that wall with a big fucking intercom. Like, that's what he's basically doing. You know what he is? He's the redhead dude with the truck in Dazed and Confused. Hey, Mitchie, I'm talking to you. Hey. Hey. Mellow. Talking to you, buddy. You know you're going to get that ass whipped when you come out, right? Mellow. That's what those letters were. Like, I'm going to beat your ass. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. They know it. They know. You know, before the summer's over, those kids' asses are getting busted. The one dude's going to get him with the soul pole. You know, it's going to happen. It's happening. Turtle Boy and Betterow are standing on the back of that truck with that little intercom, talking to the DA's office and going, "Hello, Cosgrove, Morrissey, you got to come out sometime. I'm going to get that ass as soon as you do." And it's the best shit in the world to watch. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's amazing. And then now, here's another fun little thought. If the theory is that Tully is the source of information for Krusty Panties and Plevin, what are they going to do now? Yikes. What are you guys going to do now? What are you guys going to do? If that's the case, if that's actually true, what are they going to do? And I think Krusty Panties has too much to worry about anyway. She needs to just focus on whether or not she's going to go to jail. That should be her main concern, Krusty Panties. And Plevin has just got boinky nipple problems. He's going to be okay. That's all. He's going to be okay. Seems like he's got that cancer thing beat, and kudos to him for that. But he's got that boinky nipple thing, and there's way worse problems to have than boinky nipples, Plevin. So you're going to be okay. I believe in it. I believe in you. Now, let's do a summary here. Actually, yeah, let's just do a summary here. And I see Olivia Niles in the chat. I'm actually going to be reading one of her tweets. Real quick. She posted, wow, after hearing the allegedly honest and innocent witnesses come forward on the Karen Reed Dateline NBC special to explain why they destroyed and deleted evidence, lied to the investigators in the court, hid witnesses, created alibi scripts, refused to hand over phone records, lawyered up with high-profile murder defense attorneys, among many other things, indicative of a cover-up and their consciousness of guilt. Yes, it would take forever to list these things. I totally believe them now when they couldn't remember anything else at trial, but magically remember 2 years after the fact that all their incriminating calls were butt dials and not, in fact, them conspiring at the same time Jen McCabe Googled House Long to Die in Cold at 2:27 a.m., which was confirmed by the feds. Jesus, Olivia's just surgical. Oh, wait, just kidding. Not one of the supposedly innocent witnesses who are in no legal jeopardy dare come forward to speak their truth. Not one of them has responded for comment or come forward to tell their story because that's how guilty people behave. 100%. Now, just a reminder real quick of because you got to love microdots. I'm just right now I'm celebrating I'm celebrating everything on Twitter right now. People are all over the Twitter streets right now just celebrating at all of this shit that's coming out and how Norfolk County, the DA's office, is in panic mode. And I love Howie Carley.
Good morning, Chris. Hope you're not driving tonight.
Why?
I know all about you,
Chris. I'm not driving tonight, Chris.
Oh,
wait.
You're in the morning, Chris. Hope you're not driving tonight.
Why?
I know all about you,
Chris. I'm not driving tonight, Chris.
Now that's him. That's him basically threatening microdots. And here's Turtle Boy's summary of what happened yesterday here. Michael Morrissey was exposed by Mark Betterow for having a burner email to demand judges fire a whistleblower who shared a public court document because it was embarrassing to Jen McCabe and Chris Albert. Damning evidence was exposed showing Ken Mello, Brian Tully, and Morrissey lied for the last year about not going through my phone. Turtle Boy was featured positively on Dateline and was interviewed by NBC 10, calling out Morrissey by name, who had no response. Brian Tully was removed as a detective at the Norfolk DA's office. Brian Taub abruptly resigned as DA spokesman in the middle of a self-inflicted PR nightmare. Brian Albert, Jennifer McCabe, Brian Higgins, and Michael Proctor were all portrayed as villains who covered up a murder and made themselves look guilty by refusing to be interviewed. That's a good day, and there will be many more to come. I must absolutely agree. Now he's talking about David Schraub resigned in the middle of a self-inflicted PR nightmare, and I'm wondering if it was I can't get over the Sun Chronicle guy taking the job. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. Now, let me see if I can find something here. All right, let's see what this is about real quick.
Meanwhile, here at 6, I see him go to the door and start to cross the threshold.
That was Karen Reed sharing new perspective with Dateline about the moments before her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, passed away. The legal saga was the central focus during last night's episode. Reed says she is the victim of an elaborate cover-up. Now, hours before the special aired, we learned Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully was removed from his position.
We have to talk about that too. Thank you, Glamour Suze.
Lieutenant Tully was a supervisor of Trooper Michael Proctor, who led the investigation. Let's get right out to NBC 10's Matt Fortin in the newsroom with developments from this high-profile case. Matt, a lot of people still talking about this episode last night.
Absolutely, Lauren. And a Dateline episode on this still unfolding case only continues to elevate the profile of this controversial murder investigation as we approach the 3-year anniversary of John O'Keefe's death. The 2-hour special last night went over the whole case from top to bottom, starting with that night in January 2022 when Reed and O'Keefe met up with the Alberts and McCabe's for a night out, to finding his body in the snow the morning after, and the twists and turns that followed, from Reed being charged for allegedly backing into her boyfriend and leaving him for dead in the cold, to her defense alleging a cover-up and claiming that someone inside the Albert house must have been responsible for O'Keefe's death. In the episode, we hear from all sides of the case. Reed herself recounted her perspective, as did O'Keefe's best friend and an extended family member, who reminds us that the focus needs to be on the devoted uncle and police officer who lost his life in this.
And I am put under a psychiatric watch, just two vestibules down from where they're working on John's body. And then eventually, just before noon, my father comes into the room that I'm in. And I said, Dad, how is he? And he said, he's gone. John's gone, Karen. And I just collapsed on the floor.
Johnny is where the focus should be, and not on the blogger and not on the defendant. It should be about the fact that Johnny died.
And while Dateline gave a recap of everything that's happened in the case, last night news broke that Massachusetts State Police Lieutenant Detective Brian Tully, who headed up the embattled Norfolk County unit that investigated Karen Reed, is being transferred to a different department. More on that coming up at 6:30.
All right.
You know I am.
Oh, shut up. I don't care, bro.
Charges of witness intimidation in connection to her case. And now his lawyers are accusing the Norfolk County District Attorney of allegedly lying about evidence and improper communication in his case. Attorneys for Aiden Carney, better known as Turtle Boy, sent a letter with those accusations yesterday. They claim DA Michael Morrissey used a personal email address to communicate with court officials. Carney's lawyers cite an email Morrissey dated last September concerning Carney's harassment prevention order. Carney claims his legal team hasn't received data from his cell phones that were seized when he was arrested a year ago.
He did that on purpose.
Now, before I let Turtle Boy talk here, this is a big deal. This is a big deal that Better Rose letter made the news. That's a big deal. So my hat's off to Boston 10 for that, at least. But there's so much, there's so much that's undeniable, and you guys are failing to report on, and people are depending on you for that. I mean, Adrian, thank you so much. Will, I agree with everything you have to say. Plus, you're so good. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see what Turtle Boy has to say here.
On purpose, so that it wouldn't come up in public record searches, because he doesn't want the public to know what he's doing.
The Norfolk District Attorney's Office has not responded to our request for comment on these specific allegations. Meanwhile, Carney is scheduled to appear in court in December for a hearing about his seized cell phones.
I mean, so yeah, let's talk about now. I don't have time. I would, if you guys want, I mean, I guess I could I just don't want to make you guys choose. I'm trying to just keep this one short because I know that Bettero is going to be on, and you guys are dying to hear Bettero. And I don't want to I don't want to put you guys in a position to, pick and choose. And you could catch the replay later, I guess, but I guess I can do that tomorrow. I want to go over the motion filed by the Commonwealth because I have a lot to say based on Glamasu's super chat there. That's either a 3-hour live or a 4-hour live, or it's next time I go live. But yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I am oh, Catherine, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, I am gonna go I am going to keep this one short, just because, I mean, I want to hear Bettero too. Yeah. And it kind of sucks because, like, thing is, I mean, I'm mentally preparing myself for this, so you guys should too. Is he's not going to get to talk about the stuff that we really want to hear him talk about, you know what I mean? Because it's an active case, you know what I mean? Like, it's he can't do that unless he can. If he can, great. I'm just assuming that he can't for whatever reason. He's the lawyer, I'm not. So if he's going to discuss, obviously, whatever he feels comfortable discussing, but I'm assuming he's probably not going to talk much about Turtle Boy's case. But that's what I really want to hear. But hopefully we'll get to hear what he thinks about everything that's happening in the developments of the Karen Reed case with Tully and all of those other things, and the motion filed by the Commonwealth. I'm looking forward to hearing those thoughts on his thoughts on that. M. Fetters gifted 5 memberships, and that is incredible. You guys are amazing, man. So, right, exactly, Scott McGinnis. Yeah, I got well, it's okay. Trust me, it's totally cool, Deidre, because I'm actually pretty tired. So what I did today was I got up. It was too beautiful of a day. It's supposed to be like when you work out a lot, you have to take recovery days. But when you work out to, like, manage mental health, it becomes inconvenient sometimes. Because you have to give yourself recovery days. And at my age, I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to hurt myself, because if I hurt myself, then I can't go to the gym. And if I can't go to the gym, then I can't manage my mental health the way that I like to manage it. And it'll drive me crazy. But so today was supposed to be a recovery day, but it was so beautiful outside. And I really wanted the walk. So I walked, and I just did legs. Even though the reason why I didn't want to go was because my legs were sore, but I did legs. But now I'm like, I came home, then I realized I was out of cigarettes, and I was like, and this is after I took Clubber to the park, and then I went to the store, and hauled ass back here, and then changed, and then went live. So I'm actually looking forward very much so to feeding Clubber, walking him again, and then getting in pajamas and getting in bed and being baked as fuck and watching a movie. That's totally what my plan is for the rest of the evening. And I'm really excited about it now that I said it out loud. So Marissa, thank you so much. This is my favorite channel on YouTube. Awesome, man. That's awesome. Thank you. So yeah, and then I'll have something to go live about tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll go over the Commonwealth's motion and give my thoughts on that. So what's up, baby boy? You saying hi? You want to say hi to everybody? He heard me say feed Clubber. He heard me say that. And he's like, dude, don't tease me, bro. I love you. You're my baby boy. You're the sweetest baby boy in the whole world. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're the best boy. Best boy. Yeah. Yeah. He never comes up and says hi anymore. He's always too lazy and just lays at my feet. All right, guys. That's it for me, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Because somebody apparently wants dinner. So anyway, guys, you guys are fantastic. Thank you guys so much. I had a great time. This was really fun. And I'll stop in and say hello in Mike's chat. And because I'm interested in hearing what Beto has to say, but I'll be doing stuff, so I won't be able to chat much, but I'll see you guys there. And thank you guys so much for all of the new subscribers. There's been some new subscribers, and I'm really grateful for that. I hope you guys are really enjoying the channel, and I hope everybody who's been subscribed is still enjoying the channel, and I hope you continue to enjoy the channel because I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for hitting the like if you do like it. And thank you guys for all the support. You guys are amazing. Yeah. I do love you guys very, very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.